freedom. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I'd be a slave, I'd be buried in my grave, and I'd go home to my Lord, and I'd be free.
Ain't nobody gonna make me move. I know me rights. I got the Supreme Court of these here United States say I can sit anywhere I want to, and I want to sit right here in the front of the bus. Now, ain't no use y'all getting all riled up and upset, because I ain't gonna move, and you can't make me move.
When there was no wind, and the sea was smooth like glass. Two of my compañeros who were chained together somehow made their way through the netting and jumped into the water. And immediately another quite dejected fellow who because of illness was not in irons followed their example, and I do believe many more would have done the same had they not been prevented by the action of the crew.
Now, I freely confess that mine was the ship that arrived in port with the smallpox on board. But I can personally assure you that since that inauspicious event, that every necessary precaution has been taken to cleanse both ship and cargo thoroughly, so that those wishing to purchase may do so without the slightest fear of affliction from infection.
There is no hope for escape. Meditate upon this and do exactly as you are instructed. And perhaps I will feed you. Now go out of my sight, dog.
Pompey, where has you ever seen a lion?
Oh, I've just seen the line down the other side of the field. Just tell the master, and you favored him like, well, you both share a
Oh, Pompey, you foolish fella. That weren't no lion.
Weren't no lions.
No, that was just a mangy old jackass.
A jackass, you say, master. Well, I guess I do be confused sometimes, don't I? Well, my first year here reminded me of tigers. Yes, tigers in a zoo, walking and walking in a room 3 by 2 meters. I called it living in a grave.
It was then decided that it must be I to shed the first blood. So armed with a hatchet, accompanied by Will, I entered my master's chamber. Because of the extreme darkness, I could not land a death blow. The hatchet glanced from his head. It jumped up in the bed, calling out to his wife, but it was his last words. Will struck him dead with a blow of his axe, and Mrs. Travis received the same fate as she laid in her bed.
Pompey done told me the damnedest story. Pompey done saw old Jim down to the crossroad the other day, and he looked at Jim and he said, Jim, I guess along tolerable well with my master. What you mean you get along tolerable well with your master? Why he meaner than my master? Pompey just kind of puff out his chest and he say, well, I just cuss him out every time I get some money.
Let's see, then they go back onto the house. The family go in, and they sprinkle some old smelling medicine all over. Then they just light up a new fire, and they go about their business like a new day just done broke. Cause we talking about when a creek engine died. Me and mine passed, we just like to fill a coyote together as we as a whole. Cause everybody know a slave ain't got as much soul as a mud mole.
The Negroes, meanwhile, are allowed to be the likeliest parcel to be imported this season. Arrived on the ship Countess of Sussex with Thomas Davies, master, direct from Gambia.
Lord got tired of his phone and says, I'll let him know. Look at here, Moses. Go tell Pharaoh for to let my children go, and if he refuses to do it, I will make him rule the hour, for I will empty down on Egypt all the vials of my power, and yes, it did.
Yes.
Pharaoh's army wasn't worth a half a dime. Lord help his children. You can trust him every time. Your enemies may assail you from the back and in the front, but the Lord's all around you for to be the battles.
Last night in that quiet time makes you cling to the day gone like a deathbed sailor clutches at the signs of life. In that moment, and when everything is suspended and the entire earth spins on a single axis, in that fleeting special time, I saw a vision.
Not until we reached St. Louis and the slaves were being removed to a vessel bound directly for New Orleans that I intercepted the beautiful creature. And she spoke to me, whispered in my ear, 5 words only. God made this world hard.
I've come to see all my friends who are there and outside the prison. I'll shake hands, hugs, kisses. The media will video.
Never and I got caught, but one time, Master come up on him just as he's putting on the last licks on a whole half a smoked hog. Master's eyes got big as silver dollars, his face turned cherry red. Paul B, you rapscallion! How dare you steal from me? Paul B, just as sweet as please look up at him, say, Master, I don't see what the problem be. Where I figured, you owns the hog and you owns me, so you just got a little less hog and a lot more Paul P.
There comes the time in the life of any nation when there remain only 2 choices.
What are the choices?
Submit
Never!
or fight.
And we must fight.
That time has come now to South Africa.
And what will we do?
And we shall not submit.
We shall not submit.
There'll be no more weeping, no more. No more weeping. No more weeping over me. And before I'd be a slave, I'd be buried in my grave and go home.